talking to people who are in front of me here. All right, so today we almost have 500 people who are here tonight here. So I just want to take it a quick one so that everybody can understand how the resale market works. Because I think a lot of people are also wondering how come the resale market in today's, especially the private property or even the HDB market, right? How come the price seems like a little bit not willing to come down? It seems like it is actually quite resilient. In fact, it actually keep moving forward somehow. So what is the reason behind that prices are not seems like coming down? Because a lot of people expected the market to come down. But of course, the next thing that we all are going to wait for is the Federal Reserve, which is going to make an announcement on 18th of September on whether they will cut the rates or not. Of course, a lot of people already expected that they will actually cut the rates, but everybody is still looking at what is the percentage. And that's something that I will touch on later on during my presentation as well, so that you guys can understand how the interest rate can also affect in terms of coming to decision whether to buy or not to buy, or whether to sell or not to sell. And today we are going to cover all these things. But just a disclaimer for myself tonight here, of course, whatever that you really want to invest or you even to buy anything, you must do all your due diligence and financial check. Whatever I share with you here basically are through all the URA statistics, and that's something that you can actually see, but of course take reference from there, right? So tonight I'm going to talk about all this little scope that I'm going to talk about here. Guess what? Probably you see there's a lot of things to cover, right? But all these are little bite size here and there. Not to worry, because end of the day we also don't want to drag too long because it may be too tired for everybody here. All right. So I think one of the biggest question I mentioned to you here, right? For those people who are looking at buying a resale property here, you are wondering, when will the prices come down? Will the prices coming down? So today I'm going to dwell into all these things so that you can understand the market to see whether yes or no. Like, let's see further. Now, as a resale owner, right? Can I ask every one of you who are seated in your Zoom, right? Can I ask any one of you, those who have a current property if currently you have a property, right? Can every one of you type in this Zoom, type 2 or not? I mean, if you have a property today, can you type in 2? Wow, not bad. So many of you here. Thank you so much for replying me, because that at least keep me moving forward, right? At least everybody can support me by replying this. Thank you so much, everybody. Those who have replied, thank you so much. Can I also ask every one of you who are actually replying me, especially all the number 2 one, right? Will you want to sell your house at a lower price? How many of you want to sell your house at a lower price? Can you type number 7 or not? Can you type number 7 or not? Anybody want to sell cheap or not? Nobody? Because I'm not expecting anybody to. Of course, I never say 8 or whatever. So anybody? 7. Anybody want to put in a 7 or not? You know why I asked this question here? The reason why I ask this question here is because I believe many of the owners today, right, who are sitting onto your properties, right, you may not have the intention to sell your property too. Oh, Faustina want to sell. I hope so, man. Maybe you really tell me what you really want to sell in terms of your property to be lower. Sell for my clients. No, of course, end of the day here, right? Today, who want to sell their house cheap? Especially today, we are all have certain restriction here and there. I always like to tell people here, please do not sell your house when you don't have an intention to do anything with your money. Because every time you sell your house and you do not buy anything back, right, you will end up feeling lousy. Because why? You find that the property price increased and you actually sold much earlier and you end up missing the extra profit. And that's something that you probably wouldn't want to as well. So the question is, why is it that the resale market are not able to come down? First, mainly is the replacement cost. This replacement cost, what does it mean to every one of you here? It means that, right, today, every one of you wants to upgrade to another bigger property. Or you want to spend your money to buy something more. Because why? You buy last time so cheap, today you got to pay more. So the replacement cost is actually much more higher. You will ask yourself, should I or should I not? Anyway, now if I don't do anything, I still can hold on to my property. I might as well just let my property hold it for long. And that's the reason why the prices are not actually coming down. In comparison, when the last time during the market so-called without cooling measure, That is the time there's a lot of speculation. But today, people who has only either husband and wife, each only have one or maximum two by paying ABSD. And that was the past. But today, we are talking about ABSD 30%. A lot of people are not willing to pay that kind of money. So if they don't have the intention, why would they want to sell cheap? Property prices up and down only dependent on one thing, supply and demand. When there's no supply, there is a demand, prices continue to move forward. And because today interest rate is high, there is not many people who wants to upgrade. So when there's not many people wants to upgrade at time, there will be a lack of supply. When there's a lack of supply, but there's a demand for resale property, and that's the reason why prices are generally still what? Moving forward. And if you look at this chart, it will tells you very clearly one thing. You look at the resale market since until 2000, in the year of 2000, even we talk about COVID period, you look at the price, it's all the way upward. But you look at the new launches, at least you can still see that it falls, Why? As I mentioned to you here, resale owner today only have 1 to 2 units. That's the reason just now I asked every one of you here, those who owns property, how many of you wants to sell cheap? Nobody has put up a number 7 for me. Why? Because you don't have an urgency to sell. As compared to a developer who has more unit, they are always have this little fear in their mind. And that's the reason why you can start to see, the number seems like coming down. Of course, a lot of people may not understand, is it the developer really drop price? Later on, I'll explain to you guys further. You look at the HDB prices as well. Generally, the good news here is, with the cooling measure, at least you can start to see that price growth are slower. But you also start to see, how come Q2 the price index has gone up? The reason price index has gone up also because one thing, during the last cooling measure, 15 months of wait out period for private owners to come in and buy, now they are qualified to come in already after 15 months. And that's why it creates a surge in terms of what? Purchase as well. And another thing, why is it our resale property prices are not generally coming down? It's also because we are supported by our HDB prices. Later on, you will start to see why am I saying. And just to take reference, our $1 million HDB has surpassed last year without even completing until year end. We already more than last year. Definitely this year, most likely will hit 600-700 units, because 1 month easily so many units. So can you imagine, right, by the year end, right, how many units will it be when it comes to the $1 million? And all this $1 million flat, eventually when they sell, most likely they will buy what? Private property. If they cannot go for the private new launches because they need a place to stay, then they will have to buy a resale property. And because this owner actually generally make a good profit, especially HDB, that's where the upgrading comes. But because I mentioned to you, the private owners are not selling, it creates a supply that is not a lot, demand is there, and that's the reason why you see that the prices are moving upwards in that sense. And just a very simple case study for you to see, I just took out a few areas, right? Like Tampines Green Ridge, a 3-room BTO price last time was about 200 to 230,000. Today, their average selling price is 554. You look at 4-room, 300 range to 700. You look at 300 range for 5-room to 8, almost to hitting 900, which means that, let's say, for example, for a 5-room here, easily, let's say on average is a 400,000. Today, if they can sell 800,000, easily their profit margin already 400. So that is where you can start to see that the HDB owner has also contributed to a very substantial number in the resale market. Luckily, we have this HDB owner who are make a good profit, and that's the reason why they can upgrade to a private resale. And that's the reason why resale are still very a demand, because there's a resilient in a sense, right? So later on, I will explain further what's the difference between new and resale if you want to buy in today's market, which is the next part of my segment that I'm going to share with you later on. Same thing, if you look at West Edge, a 2-room, 80 to 127, now is almost this amount. Here to here. You can see 160 to 468, 259 to 600. Here. If you look at this, that is the reason why the resale market are still strong in today's market, because of a strong support from the HDB owners who choose to upgrade to a private resale. Of course, the next thing that is being effective is actually the cooling measure. With the cooling measure plus the TDSR, this is the part that actually hold on to the prices. Especially most of us here are actually took a loan from the bank. When we took a loan from the bank, that is the total debt servicing ratio. Because of the TDSR, there is a salary being calculated, how much you can loan. Last time in 2008, that is the time where there's no cooling measure. That is the time speculation coming. Uncle, auntie, everyone on the street can buy property, including my niece also can buy property. Why? They're just 21 years old. You just need to show the bank $200,000, 200K, the bank will grant you the 75% or 80% loan. And that's the reason why it becomes so speculative. But today is so different. In order to qualify for the loan, right, it's all subjected to TDSR. So which means that, right, someone must have a certain income to qualify the loan. As a result, there is no speculation. On top of that, ABSC. A lot of multiple property owners out there today who own few properties, they will not want to sell, because if they sell, they cannot buy back the property. And that creates that the resale units, right, supply is not there. When the supply is not there, there is a demand. As a result, property prices move upwards. And that's the reason why you can see that the resale market are resilient. Because why? Each of us only own one or two properties. Because third property, ABSC. So that is the reason why supply is not there, demand is there, market still hold on to the price and is still so-called resilient. So why am I sharing all these things? Very simple for every of those buyers who wants to buy a resale unit. It's very difficult for you to expect that the resale market prices come down because there is not enough supply in the market. Like I mentioned to you just now, right? A lot of investors out there who owns property, and last time they bought their property at a lower price, and because the rental has gone up, even though the interest rate has gone up, but the rental has gone even higher and supported what? Supported the loans in a sense and support the mortgages as well. So it becomes people doesn't want. If you look at the overall private rental market, has gone up 38.4% in the year of 2022 and 2023. Just only first half of the year, it dropped minus 2.7. But if you look at here, even no matter how much you minus the 2%, the rental is still strong. And now, coupled with the interest rate is dropping, it even make the customers are not willing to sell. As a result, prices will still move in a sense. That's the reason why if you really want to buy a resale property, this is something you need to think carefully whether should you be waiting or not, because generally market is holding. I can tell you very simple, since 2022 until today, with the cooling measure in place, with the interest rate at a higher side, the resale market is still not coming down. What makes you think that the resale market will come down when the interest rate fall? And that is something you must understand. And when the interest rate fall, how does it create an impact on it? And that's something that I will touch in a short while later. And this lead on to people out there. Now, Kelvin, should I be upgrading my property now? Or should I be selling my property now? Like I mentioned to you, please do not sell your property unless you have a reason of upgrading. If not, please do not sell your property unless you have a reason behind it. And that's the number one thing. But a lot of people says, Kelvin, I sell my property. There's no way. Because why? First, I sell today. Interest rate is so high. There's a fear of upgrading, right? Second, I bought very cheap last time. Now it's so expensive. I cannot buy back the price anymore. So what will people say? I don't want to sell, right? Next, I sell high, buy high. Does it make sense or not? Right? Fourth, the market economy is unstable. Wait for price to drop. But as you wait, you realize one thing, the resale market still doesn't come down, right? Then I fully paid my property. Why stress myself over loans again? I'm comfortable, especially my kids and parents are staying nearby. You know how I share with my people, my friends out there, or my clients out there, right? One of my clients in the past, many years back, right? I make them sell a four-room private property because why? He said, Kelvin, I don't want to sell. I don't want to move anywhere because why? My mother loved this condo so much. But I say, if you don't sell, you cannot do anything with your money. Your money is stuck in the house. So what I did is very simple. I actually literally make them sell the house and ask them to upgrade to another unit in the same development. And so happen that the unit is just one floor above his current unit, which means he can save on moval, right? A lot of people don't understand why is it so, but because of what he has done, he actually get out the money and reuse the money for other purposes. And that is how people actually go about doing it. But of course, you must understand the logic first before you do anything, which I'm going to explain in a short while. A lot of people say wait for prices to drop, but you can see from the market in the last 2 years, it seems like it is not dropping, especially the resale market, right? So, of course, the question is, should I or should I not? That's why one of the things that I'm going to share today here is, right, I bought my house very cheap. I can't buy back the old prices anymore. That stops you from selling. I believe how many of you have this kind of mindset one? If you have, can you type inside the chat group, say one. I bought my house very cheap. I can't buy back the old price. That stops you from selling one. If you are one of them, can you type up one? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. This is most of the people out there generally will be thinking of this way. But let me share with you, right? Why people choose to sell or upgrade in today's market. Thank you so much for those who have replied me in the chat. Appreciate, right? Like for example, this owner who bought a property $715,000 today is worth 1.54 million. This is a 24 years journey. After 24 years, this price has appreciated to 1.54 million. Is it good or no good? How many of you say good one? Type in good. Not good one, say not bad. David say good. Thank you. Good. Cynthia say good. After 24 years, right? Is it good? Nobody's not bad. Good. Not bad. Good. Definitely, for any one of you here was definitely think that, hey, 700 to 1.5 million, almost done through already. Of course, it's good, right? So, of course, how do we see whether good or no good? Let me share with you more. Look at this. Same thing. This is recently a HDB owner. In fact, this is something that is really real scenario, right? The client bought a unit here. Since 2005 until 2023, almost 19 years, the price of a HDB from 272 reaches 600,000. Is it good or no good? How many of you tell me it's good one? How many tell me it's bad one? After 19 years. Some say good, some say no good. Some say it's bad. So why is there a mixture of different answer? Naturally, from 200 over 1,000 becomes 600 over 1,000, by right is actually good. But this owner that I actually know eventually sold this property, wanted to buy another Toa Payoh HDB, 5-room to 5-room, but the HDB 5-room today he bought at 1.46 million. Hey, can you imagine, right? 280,000. I sell my 640,000. I got to cough out all my saving out to upgrade to another Toa Payoh HDB flat for 1.46 million. Is it logical or not logical? To me, it is not logical. Why do I say so? Because why? Can you imagine? In fact, this owner 56 years old. All your saving that you have saved for the last 19 years. Now you are taking out this saving to actually upgrade to another property. This is an upgrade, but your upgrading is actually touching on to your own saving. Unless, you see, why is it our government come out a cooling measure, right? Saying that all the private owners, you can only, if you want to downgrade to HDB, 5 room and above, you need to wait for 15 months before you can actually buy a HDB. Why are they doing this? It's because all these private property owners, their property has reached $5 million. Example, they buy a Toa Payoh 5 room at 1.46 million. They will still get back 3 over million. That's the reason why for me, it's very simple. It is not logical to actually get our saving to upgrade. We must always get our house. If I sell my house, I downgrade, I at least get out the cash from the house to actually buy a HDB, or at least I have some cash. But in this case, it may not be the best way, because why? Hey, can you imagine 56 years old, until later on, when you reach 65, your house, you still need to say the HDB is fully paid 1.4 over million. That means you must continue to work unless your saving got a lot. If your saving honestly got a lot, means you should be buying private property, maybe, right? That is exactly what I'm trying to say here. What happened if you are age 65? Hey, can you imagine, let's say just now the HDB owner, 280,000, now today worth 600,000. If let's say that guy today is 65 years old, 600,000, if he wants to downgrade, can he afford? Just now, another private owners, 750,000, and today it's worth 1.53 million. Is it good? If you ask me, 1.53 million, if this customer, 1.53 million, go and buy a Toa Payoh 5 room, 1.46 million, basically got no saving. The worst is this one. He actually upgrade to a Toa Payoh, cough out extra money to buy a 1.46 million. Is it logical? It is not logical. And that's the reason why you have to ask yourself this question. Whatever age you are today, when you reach 65, is 1.5 million good enough? Is 600,000 good enough? So the only reason why people choose to sell their property is not about just making profit. It's about elevate your current assets to a new pricing. Example, every one of you here, if today you are 40 years old, your property now is 1.5 million. Let's listen carefully. I'm going to give you this scenario now. Every one of you here, please listen carefully. If you today are age 40 years old, your current property has a $1.5 million in terms of assets. By right, you are qualified to buy a $2.5 million property. That means you can, by right, you can actually upgrade to buy a 2.5 million. You say, Kelvin, no, I do not want to, because why? I rather be safe, I rather be comfortable. I just want to have 1.5. When I reach 65 years old, I will still have whatever money I have. Nothing wrong with this kind of thinking. Of course, I want to ask every one of you here, when you, let's say, for example, every one of you here, you own this $1.5 million property. When you reach 65 years old, how much do you think this property will be worth at that point of time? Can you all type inside the chat group, how much do you think you were worth? If you are the owner at 1.5 million. 2.5 million, 3 million, 2.5 million, 2.5 million, 3 million. Okay, let's say I take it 2.5 million. Can I ask everyone another question here? If you are the owner who choose to sell the property and buy a $2.5 million, how much do you think that this property will be worth then, now, at the age of 65? 4 million, 4.5 million. Okay, let's take it as 3.5 million, equal number of increase. Can I ask everyone a question here? If both are the same equal, because at the age of 65, everyone will have fully paid up the property, fully paid already, right? Everyone by right 65 should be fully paid, right? Can I ask you a question? Will you want to have a 3.5 million fully paid up property or a 2.5 million fully paid up property? Which one will you prefer? 3.5 or 2.5? Can you type in the chat group? Anybody want 2.5 one? Exactly, right? Do you realize one thing? Whether the property price got increased or not, let's assume that it never increased at all. Never increased at all. 1.5, 2.5 eventually will fully paid at 65. 1.5, 2.5. Which one will you prefer? So, I always explain to people very simple. It's not about just making profit. It's about looking at yourself when you are reach 65, your value and your net worth of your asset is worth how much. Nobody can tell you how much your property can make, right? Including myself, including many people out there. But we know one thing, at least we bought a property at 2.5 million. By the time I reach 65, at least it's a 2.5 million. Or I own a 1.5 million, by the time I still 1.5 million. It's better than just now, I mentioned to you, 600,000. Will you have enough to retire? At least when you have $2.5 million, you downgrade to a $1 million, you still have $1.5 million property. If you don't, then how are you going to retire happily? And that's the reason why you must understand what am I sharing with you guys here is because I want you to know one thing. I just want every one of you, right? It's not about speculation. No, you shouldn't speculation. Even if you're 1.5 million, if you can only upgrade to 2 million, please think about it. 1.5 is still better than 2 million. Slowly, progressively, 1.5, 2 million, 2.5 million, step by step to reach forward. My objective is very simple to share with every one of you here. I just want to see that by the age of 65, you guys will have a good sum of money and your good net worth of your asset value. Your retirement is all dependent on your net worth, how much you have. It's not about how much profit you have. It's about the net worth that you have. And that is the critical point. Because why? Because we are looking at when end of the day here, do we have enough to retire? And that is the reason why you guys will become, you guys will understand what am I talking about so that you can understand how do you build your so-called property slowly, step by step. No need to rush. No need to, suddenly 1.5 million go to 3.5 million. No need. That's called speculation. Step by step, bit by bit go up, because that's how I believe, right? Of course, no right or wrong answer, because for me, it's very clear. I've seen a lot. I'm in the business for last 21 years. I've seen how the rich become richer. And that's how they have grown. And by elevating their assets every 3-5 years down the road, they just increase their net worth. And that's how you should be working. Very simple. You look at today, HDB 3-room flat. It's already hitting 780,000. If you do not have enough, I do not know how much it will be. So many 5-room flat today have hit $1 million. Even 4-room in the town area has hit more than 1 over million. Just talk about Sembawang. A 5-room HDB already hit 700 over 1,000. What does it mean? What does it mean? Right? So there's a lot of things that we are talking about here. Of course, some of you say, Kelvin, the amortization of interest. Then I tell you very simple. You rent a house, do you need to pay other people interest? Same thing, you need to pay. So paying interest is okay because why? You must have a place to stay, right? Right? If not, you're going to pay rental to somebody and help somebody to save money. Is it logical too? Right? To me, it is very simple. End day, I only look for one thing. By the age of 65, how much do you think you should have a fully paid up property? My friend, paying interest is a norm. You borrow money from others, but you're also leveraging on others. But end day, when you reach 65, the house is fully paid. And that is your money. That nobody can take away. Think about it. What I say, whether makes sense or not, up to you. Because to me, it's very simple. I've seen a lot of people out there who end up work so hard until 65, they don't have enough. Just like our parents here. Our parents who own a HDB flat, 100,000 like my mom, 100 over thousand. Today is worth 300 over thousand. Is it good? Very good. But it is only 300 over thousand. Whatever interest, it is only worth 300 over thousand. What can you do with 300 over thousand today? Can you imagine you are 65 years old, you have a 400,000 HDB flat? It's fully paid. But will you still have to work hard? Yes. But the reason why they are in that position is because of education. They don't have the skill set or knowledge. They do not know how to use their income to help them to grow in the past. But of course, is it for everybody? I must say it's not. But for those people who out there who are qualified and have the capacity to do certain things, your job is not about speculating. Your job is to use your income to help you to slowly, progressively grow your asset. One day, when you reach 65, you will thank me because you have this X dollar in your bank account. That's what I can safely tell you because I have gone through this myself. I know how it works. And I've seen so many people out there, how they have worked. And that's why I would like to share with everybody, no right or wrong answer, because that is your end goal that you want to. My only objective is to really share with you how you can slowly build it up eventually. Of course, I hope to share as much as possible in the detail, but unfortunately, it may not be because of time frame, right? Some of you asked me a certain few questions, right? So unfortunately, I cannot cover because I still got so many things to cover. But if you really want to learn more, very simple. Ask your agents to join me in October, 2 days workshop, 2-day class. I will teach you even more. So that's the reason why I say very simple is to learn how to elevate your asset and build your net worth. This is the framework that I truly believe in because why? You need to learn how to exit to increase your net worth. And that's important here. And that's exactly what I want to share with every one of you here. You can check with your agents if you want to. Join me in this 2 days workshop. You will learn how to actually grow your wealth in a systematic way and less risky way. Because for me, it's very simple. These 2 days, you will learn about all these things. And I hope that you can benefit at the end of the day here, right? So you can see this is our last batch at Marina Bay Sands, right? So almost 1,000 people who actually attended this workshop. So I hope to see you one day. And my teaching is very simple. How do you actually grow your wealth and eventually own multiple assets, or at least your net worth is higher than what you have? Remember, one thing we cannot control is our age. When our age goes up, you may not able to borrow more, and you may not have the courage to do more. That's why some of my clients are doctors who came for my workshop. They tell me, Kelvin, I've taken care of many people. I forgot to take care of myself. And that is how it works here. So this is something that I hope that all of you must really learn my framework, because this is what I truly believe in, because I started off in this manner. And just a bit of introduction about myself, because some of you may know me, some of you may not know me. I'm in the business for the last 21 years. Today, I'm the DY CEO, and I actually lead a group of close to almost hitting our 13,000 agents here. I'm also an investor myself. I do so many conduct any of my seminars out there or training out there to educate people about property as a form of saving. And these are some of my properties today. I'm still holding on to it. Why am I holding on to it? Because a lot of my properties are held by my parents' name. Why? Because last time I can actually allow them to do so, right? These are some of my assets that I've just hold on to it. I honestly, I'm not here to so-called boast about what I have achieved. No, I also stay at a HDB flat in the past, $200,000. I don't even have enough to pay for the valuation, $5,000. Without my father-in-law supporting me, I don't think I have achieved. But that gave me a chance to be here to learn about property. And that's the reason why I would like to share with every one of you here how you can systematically build it up. I bought my first HDB 208,000. Slowly, I bought my first private property $550,000. Slowly, I'm also moved upward. So I always believe one thing: how do you grow safely, systematically? Do I start off straight away, go to this amount? No, step by step. That's why even in the papers, it featured me as well, how I actually does my seminars in terms of my training and coaching to people to build their wealth. I have done it in the last 21 years. I believe I can add value to many people's life, right? So that's the reason why I always believe one thing: this trading, timing, financing, strategies. How can you actually work on this? And today I'm going to cover all these little parts here. Financing, I will not be covering so much because it's a very big chapter in a sense. But definitely, those people who wants to understand more, feel free to get your agent to share with you in detail, because they have all the financial calculators that can assist you in terms of working the numbers. Now, the big question here is, right, should I wait to buy or sell in 2025? Because a lot of people say, Kelvin, why don't I just wait for the interest rate to drop before I comes in and buy a property? Why must I rush in to buy now since interest rate is high? Why don't I wait until next year, second half of the year, when interest rate fall, then I buy? So is it logical? Let's go into detail. Can I ask everybody a question here, right? Most people will buy property when the interest rate is low or high. Can you type, Mr. Chat Group, low or high? Low, 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 low. All right, thank you so much, right? So can I also ask everyone another question here, right? When the interest, most people will buy when interest rate is low, right? So when its interest rate is low, right, will it create more demand or not? Will it create more demand or not? If you say yes, please type in yes. Thank you so much, everybody here, right? When the demand is high, right? When the demand is high, right? Will the property price up or down? Up or down? Wow. Every one of you are very smart, I guess, right? The reason why I ask this question is very simple. You will be able to understand this. And it's important for you to know this. Because why? JP Morgan, Citi, Fed are talking about this supersized cut this year. They are all expecting 1 to 1.25. I do not know what will be. We will know in a short while, 18th of September. So when interest rate cut, what will happen next? Can I ask everyone a question here? Do you know in the year of 2023, January, what is our fixed home loan interest rate? Anybody can tell me. Fixed home loan. Fixed home loan. 3.9, 4.2, 2%. Actually, January 2.2, January 2023, our loan is 4.25. Anybody can tell me what is our interest rate now, fixed home loan? Lowest interest rate now, 2.75. Wow, Vernon. Thank you so much, David. 2.8, 2.75, 2.8. 2.75 is one of the lowest in today's market. So why is it that the Fed hasn't even come down the interest rate? Our Singapore fixed home loan has dropped to 2.75. What Amy said is 2.6 today. Why is it so? The Fed hasn't even announced. Why is the interest rate drop? Very simple. Because this is called forward-looking interest rate. That means the bank already know that what will happen very soon. What they need to do now is to lock people in so that they can secure for the next 2 years at this interest rate. Just like myself, I refinanced my property just recently to 2.9%. I'm being locked for the next 2 years. No choice, right? Because the rate is going to be this way. I have to accept it, 2.9. So what will happen? Next 2 years, I have to hold. Unless I'm willing to pay penalty, then I refinance, right? So this is something that is going to happen. So what is fixed home loan rate? You can see from here. Oh, all the way drop, right? Like DBS 2.51 some more, got lowest one, but you need to fulfill certain criteria, that's all, right? But it's lowest at 2.51. So you look at this, when the interest rate, this is actually an interest rate versus the so-called property price market movement. So if you look at interest rate is low at this point of time, right? Did our property price up or down? Can you tell me up or down? When the interest rate is low, you see our property price got increased up or down? Wow. In 2019, can I ask everybody, what is our interest rate? Do you know? Interest rate in 2019, anybody can tell me? 2019, what is our interest rate? 2.5, 1.3, 2.6, or let me tell you, it's 3.2%. That's why you see our interest rate here. And July 2018, that was the cooling measure. Can you imagine July cooling measure in 2018, 2019, our so-called interest rate went up. Will most people buy property during this point of time? Most people will not buy, right? Because why? When interest rate is high, people will not buy property, one, right? So when 2019, any one of you who bought this lucky, right? MS, you are lucky. You bought property in 2019. Today you close two eyes, also make so much profit with your property here. So you see, when interest rate fall, what happened? When interest rate fall, what happened? You see, the property went this way. So can you imagine, why is this way? Every time when interest rate is low, it will create a demand. When there's a demand, property prices will move forward. So why am I sharing all this with you, my friend? Why am I asking you just now, January 2023, what is our fixed home loan? Why is it the fixed home loan from 4.25 drop to 2.75? This is exactly what I want to tell everybody here. When September announcement or moving forward in the next few cards, when the interest rate fall, what will happen to the property price again? If you want to wait for next year, you can. When the interest rate fall, naturally, you will also start to see our property prices pick up. You just need to look at this is the past cycle. Already tell you one thing, when the interest rate fall, the next thing that's going to happen is property price going to go upward. And that is being seen in the market, in the cycle. So very simple, because inflation has came down, resulted that the federal can say that inflation come down. The next is to reduce the interest rate. The interest rate cannot stay high forever. It's very detrimental to the economy, because when people don't spend money, the economy will not move forward. When the economy doesn't move forward, naturally, the market will not move forward. But when the interest rate fall, the market will start to run. Economy will do better. And that is where market will start to pick up, because the confidence level go up. Do you know one thing? Every time when we are confident, that time we are more willing to move forward. Every time when we are not confident, we always have fear. And that is how it works here. So why am I sharing this? Because timing. All about timing. If you know how to see all these things, you will know exactly how to look at timing to buy your asset. That's why I just bought the landed this year. Why? Because I know one thing. If I don't buy today, my price will be higher next year. And I managed to get a very good deal because of timing. That's why I want to tell everybody, take advantage of situation by looking at facts. I don't give you based on rah-rah. Everything I do here is all factual one, information. At least you know for yourself, I look at numbers only, right? And you look at it, in 2019, people who choose to buy Florence residences at Hougang, 1,002 per square foot. Look at today, the price is sold at 1,009 per square foot. Can you imagine $500,000 profit? 2019, 2023 is only 4 years. 4 years to make $500,000. Is it good enough? My friend, I mean, even no matter how hard we work, right? 4 years to save 500,000, to be honest, is not easy. That's the reason why I'm saying, right? You need to look at what? You look at timing, and you must look at what? Pricing. And that's the reason why buy when people has fear. That is always, Robert, that is what our dear friend Warren Buffett says one day: buy when people have fear, sell when everybody wants to come in and buy. Actually, it's very logical one. It's not scientific. It's just data, right? That's why you need to understand how it works here. Like, for example, you see all this here. Will people more willing to buy when you see all the negative? Today you look at the newspaper, you will generally they talk about wars lah. You see home sales slump 72% lah. The economy only grow by 1.2% lah. Now we still got election lah. All these things will happen already. If you see such kind of negative news, will you buy property? I do not know how many of you will buy, but there's a lot of fear. But if you look at this kind of news, wow, Singapore private home rise by 10.6% in 2021, rent surged 9.9%. The bustling market in 2024, home price ran up 3.3%. Do you know one thing, my friend? A lot of people always tell me, Kelvin, when the market is good, right? When the market is good, a lot of people will tell me, Kelvin, if I don't buy today, next time I'm going to pay higher. But when the market is down, that time people say, Kelvin, wait for the price to drop. Actually, to me, all these are emotion attached one. That's why all of you must understand one thing. You must learn how to look at what is called lagging, what is called leading indicators. When you start to see all the positive news like this, actually the market already pick up. You are already late. You should be seeing such kind of news. This kind of news is a good news. This kind of news means you are late already. So you must know what kind of news to see, because all this news will stir the market go up. This news will only stir market to come down. But that is your opportunity as well, right? That is something that you need to see. And that is the reason why you look at this. This is the time when the market is weak, right? You will start to see, wow, one whole stack, nobody buy that property. Is it ghost town or not? Is it nobody wants to buy or not? Most of you here, if you look at such kind of so many units, I haven't sell yet. Should I wait for the price to come down before I buy? Or you choose to look at this development, one day sold almost 100%, which is better? Let me share with you. Look at this development, Sora. This is just launched, only 23% sold. If you look at this newspaper, how many of you wants to buy property now? If you say only 23%, most people will say, Kelvin, don't need to rush. Take your time. Wait for the market first. Later, then I buy. A lot of things will come to you. Look at this. Treasure. In 2019. Just now I mentioned to you, right? 2019 cooling measure. Remember? 2019 cooling measure. 2019 also interest rate is high. Cooling measure goes up, interest rate goes up, people say, please don't buy. Only 12% sold. If you look at this kind of news, will you buy? You won't buy. You will want to wait. You look at this. Stack 10 faces the pool. Bought in 2019, 1.33 million. Look at this. Anybody can tell me, stack 11 face what? Stack 11 face what? Anybody can tell me? Bin center. This owner bought 300,000 more than the pool facing just to face the bin. Is it very special? Because why? I do not know whether the owners, what is his thinking, but definitely he wants to buy the face the bin one. Hey, there's only one bin center, pool, a lot of pool, but bin center only got one, But why is it paid 300,000? Because very simple. Time. You look at here, 2022. 2022 is where market has already picked up. The number of, in fact, this development already 90% sold already by then. You see, as a developer, is it very smart? Sell the bin facing 300,000 more than the pool facing. Is the developer smart or not, eventually developer will still make money one. Why? They do dollar averaging. But why is this customer still willing to pay $300,000 more? Anybody can tell me, or you can think about it. Because I want to tell everybody, please listen. Why these customers are paying extra 300,000, even though I know it's a bin phasing, it's because I already missed one chance of here 300,000 different. If I still don't pay $1.6 million, I'm going to pay another development, going to launch later, 3-room at $2 million. Can I tell everybody today on average, right? In the mass market, average 3-room for a new launch is about 2 million already. If I don't buy 1.6 million, I already lose my first 300,000. I got to pay another 400,000 more. Then I will have to even lose more already. That's the reason why, even though I paid 1,500 per square foot, does it mean that this owner will make money? Because today average for new launches is already $2,000 per square foot for mass market. Does it mean that he won't make? He will make. He only make maybe lesser than this stack 10 unit. That's why timing is very important, my friend. When people are not willing to buy, does not mean that you should not buy. You should even have this opportunity to get good unit at a good price. That's why you must understand how to look at timing. Remember this word, timing. I buy my property all these years based on this word called timing. For me, it's not emotion one. It's all about factual. How do you look at factual to make a decision? And that's why you need to be very clear how to look at information. Same thing, look at Queen's Peak. Only 30% sold. Look at this stack 5. I just want to tell you, I cannot show you the unit number. It's only one floor different. But the price difference for one floor is 200,000. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine you pay 200,000 more when you are not at the right timing? That's why I say every one of you here, remember, the market is still weak. There is always opportunity, but you must know how to look at pricing. If you know, then at least you know how to make decision moving forward. That's why do not let emotion get into your picture and make the wrong decision. Get the facts right. For me, it's all about facts one. For me, it's all about numbers. Numbers will make you go wrong. Emotion will normally create the wrong purchase. That's why my job is to give you all the necessary factual for you to make a better decision here. That's why don't just learn from me, please learn from him, because he's the best person to tell you buy when people has what? Fear. Sell when people has greedy, right? That's where you come in. That's why I want to share with you now. Now I've talked so much about timing. Now I want to share with you about new launch and resale. That's because why people say, Kelvin, since that the resale market and the new launch market, there's a gap, right? Should I be buying new launch or should I be buying resale? So let's look further here, right? So if today's market here, can I ask everyone a question here, right? This Commonwealth Tower, the original launch price is about 1,006. Now there is an owner selling for 2,001 per square foot here. 2,001. Just recently in RCR, for all the new launches in the RCR, all averaging selling about 2,004 to $2,500 per square foot. Currently, the new launch in that so-called area. Now this resale is going at 2,001. Can I ask everyone a question? Who wants to buy resale? Who wants to buy new launch? If you want to buy resale, please type in R. If you want to buy new launch, please type in N. Let's see who wants to buy what. You see, there's so many different answers here, right? Which is good thing. That's why that's the objective, right? When there's a mixture of answer means what? Means everybody is not so clear. But let's review it. I will share with you in a short while. Thank you so much, everybody, for helping me to reply here so that at least we get the whole Zoom moving forward. And that's important here. So now I want to ask everyone a question, another question. I ask so many questions, that's my problem, right? But I think it's okay because when I ask question, everybody involved lah. Can you imagine? I'm just talking to a screen and nobody talking to me. It's so boring, right? So that's the reason why I say I'm thankful to every one of you to reply me. All right, can I ask everybody a question? Those who bought at 2001 per square foot, those people who want to buy resale, right, at 2001 per square foot, how much do you want to sell in the future? How much do you want to sell? Can you all type inside a chat group? $2,500 per square foot. The first one says 2005 per square foot. Do you know one thing? Do you know one thing or not? When it comes to resale, right, what is the most important thing when you decided to buy a property? Do you know? Anybody can tell me age, location? When you want to sell a property at a certain price, it depends on what? Oh, Jasmine, valuation. Exactly. The keyword is valuation. That means if any one of you today who buy this property at 2001, if you want to sell at 2005 per square foot, that is the future price. But whether the future price can hit 2005 or not, nobody will know. But this group of people, there is 1,000 people out there who bought this property at $1,600 per square foot. If they continue to sell at 2001 per square foot, how are you going to sell at 2005 per square foot? Because the valuation cannot match. That is the trouble. But in a new launch market, it's different. Later on, I will explain to you. But if you look at this, when the valuation cannot match, who wants to buy at 2005 per square foot? If everyone sell at 2001, 2002, 2001, 2002, you are holding on to a 2005 that you want to sell. If the valuation cannot match, then how? That is one risk. I show you a real example. The sale. This is a 62nd floor unit bought at 2160. In fact, at that point of time, this unit is one of the cheapest already. Why? You look at some of the unit lower floor. You look at certain floor. You see a 6th floor already sold at $2,000. You are 60-something floor at $2,100 per square foot. Is it worthwhile? But let's see further. In 2023, this 60-something floor unit sold at 1,008. Can you imagine if this unit 60-something floor sold at 1,888? Now you are a buyer, also wanted to buy another 60-something floor unit. How much will you want to pay? Will you want to pay higher or you want to pay lower? Ask yourself. Up, you want to pay higher or lower? If you saw someone, 1,008. So can you imagine, like just now, everybody was saying, right? Lower. Thank you so much. You buy lower. So when you buy lower, then the owner who bought 2,160, how? Stuck. Why? Because the first owner, they bought average $700 to $900 per square foot. They just need to sell at 1,888. It's already doubled the profit already. They don't even need to sell so high. They already make such a good profit. So can you imagine? So when you want to buy a resale property, unless it's really for your own stay, you can buy because you are buying for stay. But if you really want to buy something, then you need to look at this called the gap. First owner price and your current price must not be a big gap. Of course, if you really want to buy a house for stay, just buy because you need a house to stay. But if today you have an option to buy whether new launch or resale for investment point of view, my suggestion is always looking at in new launches in today's market. Why do I say so? Because you just now saw one of my chart. The resale is this way, came down, but the new launch is this way, all the way up. Which one will you choose? Choose a one that comes down or the one that comes upwards. And today, if you can ask your agent to show you any of the resale market property today, They have the investment sales suite that our company proprietary software can show you any resale development. Is it at the highest peak price? But as mentioned, if you really buy for own stay, then just buy because you are staying. But today you have a chance to own a investment property. Why don't you look at a new launch? Because why? Because developer got more units. They are more fearful than anybody. Buy when they have fear. That's why just now I mentioned to you the treasure. 2019 face the pool, bought 1.3. Subsequently, face the bin, pay 1.6. Now this is the opportunity that you're looking at. This cycle is the same cycle as current high interest rate cooling measure. That's why it is important for you to understand the timing. That's why people choose to buy a new launch, because first, the price gap is narrow between TOP. Later, I'm going to show you this between TOP versus a brand new launch. Later, I'm going to show you. And interest rate is also progressive. So people who buy a resale, today you're going to lock for a 2% interest rate. But people who buy a new launch is a progressive. You don't even need to pay. Maybe by the time you want to take a loan that time, your interest rate already dropped quite a fair bit. And that's a good thing. Next, you don't need to concern about rental market, because the market maybe not be, well, the rental market is a little bit coming down. You don't need to be concerned of. You also no need to bother about taxes as well. That's why your property tax, you don't need to bother. Maintenance, you don't need to bother. Your break even is even faster. Why do I say break even faster? You only based on progressive, and that's the only cost, right? But you talk about rental, you have a rental interest rate that you need to pay. You need to pay taxes, you need to pay maintenance fees, renovation fees, so many of those fees that you're going to pay. Developer supply is there. That's why developer always very sensitive now. That's why buy when the developer has fear. That's why I see it as an opportunity for many of you guys here. But you need to know how to determine what is called the right price for yourself, right? So that's why today I want to share with you something here. How do you actually determine something that is safe to enter? If you can understand this, you can choose whatever development you want to buy based on these two important factors. First, let me just demonstrate by showing you this latest development 8 at BT. Whether is this property worth to buy? Next time, you can also look for another new launch property to decide whether worthwhile to buy or not. Let's see further. I look at two important points: safe entry, safe exit. For me, it's very simple one. I cannot tell you whether make money. I only can tell you whether is it safe or not safe or not. That's the only thing, right? So let's look at the entry price. How do I determine the entry is safe or not? Let's see further. Today, I have 5 things that you need to look into when it comes to entry price. First, supply demand. Second, reputable school. If there is a good school, then definitely it will be attractive. Next, amenities, integrated transport, price gap. What do I talk about here? Supply and demand. How do I look at supply and demand? You see, over here, right? In fact, look at the lane. This is one of the development at Bukit Timah, same place, because this is just near to the integrated transport hub, which is along the stretch. And if you look at it, first day sold 96%. Next one, the reserve at Bukit Timah, 70% sold on the first day. Why is there such a huge purchase? People want so much demand over here. And now within this location that is near to integrated transport hub, right? Brand new development only left with one, which means that, right, the supply and demand is not there. There is a demand, but the supply is not there. In fact, the reserve now only left with 12 units for sale. Left with 12 units. And compared to others, no more. There's no more development. Why are they selling so fast? Very simple. Because this area, you want to be near to the integrated transport hub. What is integrated transport hub? Means that MRT la, food la, bus interchange la, everything, the mall la, all within that so-called integrated transport hub. It means convenience. And that's the reason why you look at this, it is the reason why first day is such a strong demand. It's not about you have a choice to buy one. It's because it's also dependent on whether balloting, whether you get a good price or not. So a lot of things factor. That's the reason why, right, today, like the developer generally have more unit, they also be more concerned. Later on, we will see how is the pricing work. Does it make sense or not? Look at this development, Bukit Sembawang, 8 FBT, right? First day alone already draw more than 2,000 visitors. And their starting price is $2,530 per square foot. Is this price really justifiable? Let's see further. And you look at the whole development here. Do you know that, right? One of the good things here is that you are buying this development is the only pure residential project. That means what? You don't need to maintain all the so-called like for example, the link at the mixed development, right? This one there is a connectivity, a lot of things that you need to pay extra in terms of maintenance because of the mixed development. But in terms of residential, you don't need to pay extra in terms of maintenance, and that is something that is good for you to take note of, right? And this is what I meant by the future integrated transport hub. This is the current market here will be a future community. And this development is just 2 minutes walk to the integrated transport hub. It makes it so accessible in terms of that. And this whole Bukit Timah is a landed enclave area. It's not about you have a lot of supply. You just look at the surrounding, may not have a lot of lands available for you to own a property that is so near to the future integrated transport hub. Remember, anything that is near to the transport hub, rental is always substantial, is always strong in a sense because why? Because of convenience, right? That's why I'm talking about a community center, right? And it's all within the same location. And of course, the most important is the primary school, especially children's parents out there, they're all looking for good school. Pei Hwa is definitely one of the strong school. Now you have MRT station, you have integrated transport hub, you have a good primary school. All these are the values that why people can buy the property within first day, 90% sold for the link, 70% sold for the reserve. And now the reserve has already sold almost left with 12 units because of the integrated development and the schools, MRT, everything is within an area. And just for you to know, the whole of this area is all about good school. You got Pei Hwa Methodist School, Nanyang Girls, NUS, Hwa Chong, Singapore Poly, everything is all within the same line. That's why it is something that is people wanted to own a property that is near to good school, MRT transport. And the whole MRT transport link is all linked to different parts easily. And it's just a 2 minutes walk to beautiful MRT station. And you see, you have so many attributes, right? And that's the reason why the link sold out 90%, the reserve is already 90% sold, because there is no supply in the market in this area. Now let's look at price gap. How do I look at numbers? I just not talk so much about all these attributes, right? Now we look at the numbers. Does it make sense? Now, in the past, let's take an example here. One Amber and Amber Park. When a new launch is launched, I compare with a resale market. At that point of time, the resale and the new launch gap is 52%. It's 52%. Huh? Now, for example, Continuum and Amber Park, because the price of a sub-sale unit, right, TOP already, hit almost to $3,000 per square foot. Now the gap is only like 7%. 7% gap. In the past, when the Amber Park was launched, the gap is 52%. Guess what? Now Amber Park owners still make a good profit of $500,000. Despite that the gap between a new and resale is 52%, and now the gap becomes so narrow, isn't it a good chance to buy a new launch? What do I mean by that? It means the resale and the new launch price gap is so narrow. Will you choose to buy a new or will you choose to buy a resale? Think about it. Which is a better option, right? Look at Daintree. This is one of the development that is just TOP recently, and it's not so near to MRT. You still need to walk out from there, and they also can make a good profit. And just to tell you, when Daintree was launched, I compare with the Raintree, which is a resale market. At that point of time, the gap was 30%. Today, reserve and the Daintree, both are 99 years. The gap is only 17%. Today, Daintree owners can still make $500,000 despite it is not 2 minutes walk to MRT. Easily, you get to walk about 8 to 10 minutes walk to MRT. At Bukit Timah area, they are still making a so-called $500,000 profit. Look at Forex. This is a freehold development, which is also not so near MRT, are also easily making 3 to 400 over 1,000. So what do you mean by when the property is so near to the integrated transport hub? That's the reason why the demand for integrated transport hub properties that is nearby is always a sought after development. The link, this is just the one that I told you, is only one apartment, one tower, already subsale the property out, making 3 to 400 over 1,000. You look at their purchase price of 2221, today they sell at 29 to 28. People paid $2,900 for a sub-sale unit. That means they paid the owner this kind of profit to buy a resale unit. So what does it mean? It means that in today's market, people over there already paying close to $3,000 per square foot, 2008, 2009 per square foot. Is this 8 at BT $2,530 per square foot? Is it something that is safe for us to look at? That's something for you to see. Right? Next, we talk about exit. Look at all the so-called current new launch property in the RCR. Average is already done at 25, 27, 24, 25, 25, 26, 26. Highest per square foot has done 2009 for Grand Diamond, Landmark 3001. These are all the, even the resale reserve, which is just next door. Highest has done 3001. Average is about 2004 now. This is the price, right? And today we are talking about this RCR new launch already done this price. I'm buying at this price. Is it something that is safest, right? We cannot tell you can make money, but at least you are buying below, buying at people purchase price or buying below what people has already paid for. And that is something that is worthwhile for you to see. Look at the reserve. Highest has done 31, 328, 28, 28, 28, 28, 28. At least we know we are buying at 28 versus 25. There is a gap. That's why I'm saying we are buying a difference gap. Remember, people who paid 2008, they must sell at what price? 3002. I buy at 2005. I just need to sell at this price. Will I make the same amount of profit? My strategy is very simple to every one of you. Please listen. Buy below what others have paid for. Buy below what others have paid for. Whether can make money, I don't know. But at least I know one thing. I buy below what people have paid for. And that's important. And today, these are the unit, last 15 units. Sorry, not 12 unit. 15 unit. The reserve are selling 26, 25, 26, 26, $3,000. Currently, 15 unit left. I'm very sure this development, based on 2005 range per square foot, is it something worthwhile for you to take a look? And this development for the Landmark resale market, a new launch market, already sold out 2009, 2008. Already people pay higher in the RCR, right? We are talking about this is a Bukit Timah area. In fact, this development, the road name is Bukit Timah Link. It's so difficult to buy a good road name some more. I mean, right? Look at Blossom by the Park. Also 25, 26, 24, 25, 25, 26. People are paying 25 average already. It's not they are selling above the market price. Sterling Residences. This is a resale now. We're talking about resale. Lease from 2017. Resale already hit this kind of price. 24 to 25 per square foot. This is a brand new development. Is it worthwhile? Look at Atra 2016 lease. 23 for $2,300 versus something that is 2005 brand new resale, remember, you buy a resale next time 2016, right? Another 3-4 years down the road, the age will go higher. But this is still a brand new. So that's the reason why it's the price at a higher price. Are the developer pricing it? But I tell you very simple. Like I mentioned to you, today they have fear. That's why they dare not anyhow. That's why you have an option to look at this. One per bank, resale now, also have sold 2005, 2007. Yes, they are nearer to town, right? But again, ours is at Bukit Timah, also not far away from town, but you have school, you have MRT, you have integrated transport hub, you have everything. Everything within the circumference of just 2 minutes walk from one another. Is it something attractive? The link, like I mentioned just now, 2009, right? And just to let you know, these are the development that is all within Bukit Timah, and these are all the just TOP, just collected key within the last 1 to 2 years. Every of these development all make good profit. The one that make the most profit is the one that is very close to the MRT station, which is the link. Those that is not so near, 5 to 10 minutes walk, also make easily $300 to $400 per square foot. Can you imagine this development you are buying below what people has paid for? Is it something attractive? That's why in summer, for you to see, the resale market is already done this price. A new launch market has done this price. The upcoming, even for Clementi mass market area, already going for 2004. Based on 8 FBT at 2005, is this something safe to enter? I cannot say yes or no to you, whether it will make profit, but I know one thing, you are not buying higher than what people have paid for. And that is important here. That's why I always use this strategy, the gap analysis, because one of the things that is most important is to buy into low risk development. And that's something for you to take note of and for you to understand, right? So for those people who really wants to learn more from us and from myself, this coming 19th October to 20th October, we'll have 2 days workshop. Join us, and I'm happy to share with you in greater detail. In fact, now I want to really bring it to you, another of my partners here, which is Jeep. Jeep will be sharing with you a little bit about how this development looks so pretty. Honestly, it's only 100 over units, but it seems like the development is so big and big in the sense that, right, it actually looks, wow, quite a nice development, right, Jeep? Jeep, can you don't mind help to share with all our participants here about this development, because just a short another 5 or 10 minutes more, Jeep will be sharing with you this exciting development here, right? Jeep, I hand over to you. Thank you everyone for listening to me. I look forward to see you soon again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, boss Calvin. And okay, I'm going to use about 10 minutes to share with you 2 very important points about 8 and BT. So I hope you can still stay with me for a while. Very important, because these 2 points is going to help you to make a good decision, and it's going to impact you in your future exit, especially, right? So before I go on, I just want to ask every one of you, how many of you would love to have this for your property? Luxury living with exclusive privacy and unmatched convenience. And yet, if you are going to put your property in a resale market next time, and you gain the edge and outshine all your competitors. If you think that these are the 2 things that you are looking for your property, maybe can you give me an 8, since we are at the 8 at BT now? Any one of you? Yes, hold on, I can't see. Never mind. You don't open. Okay, good. I saw a lot of 8 now. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your participation. You guys are awesome, and it's already 1.5 hours. And I already feel very good when I see all of you giving me an 8. And that is actually exactly what I'm going to introduce. The very 2 important things that it have not been covered yet, right? So the first thing, location, I think Calvin already done a very detailed explanation. This unique location really score very high point, and definitely the Link at Beauty World, the reserve already proven, is actually so sought after, and the demand here is very high because it's very limited supply over here. And the next thing I would like to share with all of you is actually the architectural value of this project. Later, I'll elaborate very quickly about what do I mean by that. And layout premium. So these are the things that I'm going to share with you in the next couple of minutes. Architectural value and layout premium. This is a very important thing, and this is how the project looks like. It's like a resort style, or with the backdrop of Bukit Timah Hill Natural Reserve, Rifle Range, the Natural Reserve, and so on. And you can see the tower is actually doesn't feel like you are only having 158 units. The facilities is quite good. You can come down to the show fair to take a look, and you will have the natural reserve view. At the same time, you have the landed property view as well. So these are the two sides of the view you'll be getting for those higher floor. And look at this. I think personally I love this. A full pool that can heat up to 40 degrees there. So this one is sheltered somewhere, or overlooking at the pool. So it's something that is quite unique, and it never appeared in some of the project, right? Now this will be one of the living room, function room, 50 square meters, very huge, and the setup is exactly like they extended your living room upstairs to this place. And if you're having a party, you can always invite your guests to come here because they are set up with the full kitchen appliances, dining table, TV, and of course sofa area. Right, we have two of this. One is slightly smaller. And the next thing I want to share, very important, because this one will determine your exit plan and whether you want to buy something that next time if you want to sell, you will not have any competition. If that's actually what you want, then this few minutes, I really want you all to really pay attention. It's very, very important, right? The first thing, let's look at the site plan of 8 at BT. These are actually the site plan, and the address is Bukit Timah Link. Because you enter from here, and it consists of 2 blocks of 20-story high, right? So these are the 2 blocks. Block 6 consists of a bigger unit, and block 8 are the smaller unit, right? And they are actually in the north-south facing orientation, so it's a very good facing. So this is actually the plus point. 4 units per floor served by 2 lifts. Some unit, the big one even come with a private lift. Right, so imagine if you are going for work, rush hour, and some of the bigger project, you might have to take a lot of time to wait for a lift to arrive. But this one only 4 units, or 4 units per level. So that's really very exclusive, and I think you gain a lot of privacy as well. And because of 4 units, then all will be corner units. So these are very, very good features, because if you go and study all the new launches now in the market, this feature will not come by easily. I think 10 out of 10 of the other new launches, you might not get a point block configuration today, right? But at 8 ABT, developer actually put in this in their architectural design, and of course, with the corner unit, you will get more privacy, better ventilation, and better natural lighting coming into your house. So that is something that is lacking off in a lot of new launches, because every floor developer will try to put in about 7, 8 units, sometimes even 9 units, right? So a lot of units will be sandwiched in between, and you don't even get a window in your kitchen, and of course in your bathroom and so on. So it also comes with the B1 and B2 car parks. And the best of all, you'll get a Bukit Timah address. So this is something very, very unique, only apply to 8 at BT, because if you are familiar with the area at especially Beauty World Center here, most of the project they don't come with a Bukit Timah address, right? So it's either like Jalan Jurong Kecil or Jalan Anam Bukit, or if not, it's Upper Bukit Timah. So this will be the only project that have a Bukit Timah address, and that is something quite valuable. And so the next question I want to share with all of you, is it cheaper or more costly for developers to build 2 blocks and put basement car parks? Anyone of you want to answer? Is it cheaper? If it's cheaper, you put C, or no, both are C. You put a 1 and 2. 1 is costly, 2 is cheaper. costly. Very good, Candice. Thank you, thank you. So everybody, you see, everybody put one more. So the question we have to ask, yes, developer can build one block and they can build 8 units per floor. I think that will drop their construction cost by a lot. And for this case, Bukit Sampawang actually decided to put up 2 blocks. I think that is a very thoughtful move. And because of that, the end user will get to enjoy all the benefits of being a corner unit. So that's something we can take note. And never mind, next time if you need to put this unit into the resale market, I'm very sure that the buyer come to your house, you'll feel different because it's so airy, it's so bright, and everywhere you go, you'll see windows, especially in the kitchen and in the bathroom. Compared to maybe some of your competitors' units, they are not enjoying all these benefits. So I'm very sure that your unit will stand out from the rest of the competition, and that's whereby you will gain value for buying into it at BT. For your own enjoyment, at the same time, when you want to sell, it's actually easier for you to maybe let go, right? So this is, in fact, a very thoughtful move by Bukit Sampawang, and they decided to put 2 blocks and 4 units per level, right? So the next topic is actually the layout premium. So this will impact you in the resale market as well, and definitely you will affect your own enjoyment. Right? For example, a typical new launch 1-bedroom layout will actually look like this. This is actually a 1-bed 527 square feet. Right? So if you look at the layout, when you enter into from the main door, right, then you will see a corridor kitchen, an open concept kitchen without any window, right? So if you look at their bathroom, also without any windows, and when you go in, of course, you get a living room and with a balcony here, right? Here will be your aircon latch. On the width, normally is about 2 point something meter here. So let's see, this is a typical 1-bedroom unit for all the new launches today. If you happen to walk in any new launch, you will see this layout for 1-bedroom. Right, and compared to this layout, so can you feel the difference now? So this is a very rare landscape layout. Now this is about 4.65 meter at your living room compared to 2 point something meter, right? So with a landscape layout, definitely you'll get lights to come into your house, and your living and dining area will look actually much more spacious. Right, so this is one of the added advantage, and of course you get a storage. So this is never be seen in the 1-bedroom apartment. For many donkey years, we never see a storeroom there already. But in 8BT, in this layout, you'll get a storeroom at the 1-bedroom apartment as well. And look at the kitchen. I think it's something all the buyers that have visited our show flat last weekend, right? We got like more than 2,000 visitors. Everyone actually was very impressed by how the developer put in the kitchen for this 1-bedroom even, and it comes with windows at the kitchen and at the bathroom. So this will be your ace, your trump card already. Imagine if you are going to sell this unit in the resale market, put the 2 buyer been to the typical units and come to your units. Definitely, I'm sure this one will actually make them feel more interesting, and they are more willing to put it down the deposit for you, right? The toilet have 2 entrances to this particular units. So this is only one example. Of course, they have 2-bedroom. We call this very thoughtful design by Bukit Sampawang. The 2-bedroom also come with a very good living dining area of 4.8 meter width. So it's again a landscape configuration, right? And on top of that, you'll get a window in the kitchen and then a storage area, right? 8.7 common bedroom, whereby it's big enough for you to put in even a queen size, and master bedroom 13.3 square meter, all come with a full height glass window, right? So this definitely is going to be a wow factor if you put this unit into the resale. And if not for your own enjoyment, I think the space is actually really luxury. 732, not 753, I'm so sorry, right? And 3-bed 1163 square feet. Now, something that I want to stress here is this one comes with a balcony. So balcony with a living room, or if you open up fully the sliding door, this is a very unique sliding door, which is very different from the common condo that you have come across, because we are able to push to the side and then we can actually slide and make it fully open, right? So once you do that, you will get about 26 square meter, include a balcony for your living and dining, right? So that is a huge space, right? Of course, it comes with the house shelter, the window, a big window in the kitchen as well, right? And one thing I want to emphasize is actually the bedroom size. Look at the bedroom size, 10.3 and 10.3 for the common bedroom. I think that is really huge. And if you look at the master bedroom, including the bath, you will have a 20.1 square meter. So this is the kind of space that you will be enjoying. And this is, we call like, beside the good location, you will be enjoying a very nice, comfortable space. And this is called lifestyle, right? And AABT, that's why I say, you're not just purchasing a property. In fact, you are gaining enduring value and unmatched quality of your life. So beside the very good location, the good architecture design, and of course, the very good floor plan, that will enhance your property value. I mean, especially when you want to let it go in the resale market next time, I think your competition level is very low because you have the edge over all the other units in the particular area, right? So just now I just prepared this. Your TOE HDB 5-room flat at 36 years old today. Their 5-room flat, in fact, the highest transacted so far is 1.22 million. So imagine a 36-year-old, 99 years HDB flat today, they are able to sell at 1.22 million, right? So that explains the attribute of this location, the strong demand of this location. So people are willing to pay 1.22 for a 36-year-old flat. So this is something that I just wanted to imagine the value. If you are able to get a unit here, that is the value that you are holding, and definitely with coupled with all the location attributes, the good layout, 4 units per level, a very nice project with the modern facilities, that will enhance your house value, right? And after talking for so much AABT preview, now we are in the preview period. 1 weekend already over, right? So this coming weekend will be the last weekend before we close for preview, and then after that we will open up. We will go for the booking on the 21st of September. So for new launch, for those people who are interested, you have to put in a check with some document before you are entitled for the balloting process, and based on the queue, then on the 21st you will come in to do the booking, right? So this is the picture that I think Kelvin already showed you earlier on. We have like more than 2,000 visitors. So I want to encourage all of you to come now to take a look, because this project is really unique, very different.